Alright, so today's Q&A is about fat. This is day 10, I think, of 30 videos in 30 days. And I got the question that said, how much fat is too much? You know, like there's this huge controversy or whatever about fat, and the fat you eat is the fat you wear, and we need to stay away from fat. This has caused so many problems. Like, it's not even funny how many problems this has caused. I probably get an email or a comment or something every single day about fat and about how someone is scared to eat fat, or, you know, the next day that they eat fat, they feel really guilty, or their parents cook with fat, or they won't go out to eat because of the fat that could be in their food. So they don't eat with their parents. They don't go out to eat. Like, they have to have their perfect little foods. They have to go to certain restaurants where they know that they can get these perfect foods that don't have fat in them and all that kind of stuff. This whole idea of the fat you eat, the fat you wear, I know that a lot of people say this, and I know that even the plant-based doctors have said this and all that kind of stuff. But I want to make the point here that these plant-based doctors, their main target audience and their patients are not a group of high school or teenage kids who want to be bone thin, okay? That is not their audience, and that is not their patients. Their patients are older people who have had a lifetime of eating horribly, and they are living off of super high fat foods. They're not eating enough fruits and vegetables. They're not eating enough whole grains. They're eating like just junk all day long, day in, day out, for year after year, and they have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, you know, heart disease, all types of health issues, okay? Like, they legitimately have these problems. So they tell them, hey guys, like, the fat that you eat is the fat that you wear. So for someone who has been eating this horrible diet, like, and not just a super fatty diet, but a super high calorie diet that's caused them to gain all this weight over the years, they're most likely not very active. They have no idea of health at all. And for them to be told the fat you eat is the fat you wear, and for them to say, oh, you know what, I probably shouldn't eat like deep fried Oreos like every couple of nights or whatever. I probably shouldn't eat deep fried chicken every night for dinner. Or I probably shouldn't be eating, you know, like grease dripping off my pizza type of thing like a few times a week. Or I probably shouldn't be eating like a salad with just drenched in like ranch dressing, okay? Like every single day, day in and day out. That's not like a one-time fluke thing. Like, this has been their life for forever. So the minute that they cut out those foods, what do you think is going to happen? Of course they're going to lose weight. Of course they're going to feel better. That's the whole point. They're no longer eating so many calories, and they're no longer eating tons of just junk anymore. They've completely changed, and now they're eating more fruits and vegetables and starches and whole grains and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's well-intentioned, but here's the problem. When this type of thinking falls on the ears of a young girl or a young guy who is super obsessed with fitness, with health, with their body image, with all of this kind of stuff, it is literally a recipe for disaster, okay? It is causing so many disordered eating habits, it's not even funny. Not only from like a mental perspective is it causing issues, because a lot of people say, oh my gosh, like, I beat my eating disorder, I can sit here and eat all the carbs that I want to, like, yay me. But it's like I said in another video, you didn't beat anything. All you've done is you've just reversed your fears. So instead of fearing carbs like you were a few years ago when you were on your low carb diet or whatever, now you're fearing fats. So you haven't beat anything. All you've done is just change out your fears, okay? That's the first thing from a mental perspective. The second thing from a physical perspective is most of the people, probably even watching this video right now, are super obsessed with meeting your recommended daily allowance or whatever of certain vitamins and minerals and micronutrients and all that kind of stuff. Like, you log everything in Chronometer and you sit there and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I am awesome. Like, I got 5,000% vitamin A. Like, I eat so many carrots and sweet potatoes. Or I've got all of my vitamin K. Like, I just eat a ton of kale and a ton of greens and stuff. Or, you know, like you're just obsessed with these vitamins and minerals. But here is the reality, okay? There are certain vitamins and minerals, specifically vitamins A, D, E, and K, okay? Those are the top 4 that are fat soluble. So what does that mean? That means that they have to be in the presence of fat for them to effectively be digested, absorbed, and retained in your body, okay? So if you are eating a super low fat diet and you think that you are absorbing all these vitamins and nutrients, you are not, okay? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're not. That's just how, like, your biochemistry works. Like, that's how it is. So every time you look at your chronometer and you say, oh my gosh, like, I got all these vitamins and minerals, if you're not eating, like, enough fat, and then you're not going to get these fat soluble vitamins, and specifically when you're eating these other type of foods that contain these type of vitamins. So if you're eating like a big salad with a ton of vegetables and stuff, and you're just eating like just salad with like lemon juice squeezed on top, chances of you really like absorbing all of that is slim to none. You'd be so much better off eating like a lot of avocado on there, some nuts and seeds, or whatever, like some type of fatty food that will help you absorb those vitamins and minerals. So from a physical perspective, a lot of people are having vitamin deficiencies because they're not eating enough fat. And a lot of people aren't even eating any overt fats at all. So, you know, regardless of the whole like vitamin deficiency when it comes to the A, D, E, and K, there's also the essential fatty acids like omega-3 and omega-6s. And if people aren't eating flax seeds and chia seeds and those type of things and other nuts and seeds, you can develop a fatty acid deficiency. And so this isn't like something that you just say, oh my gosh, like I'm so healthy, like I never eat fats and I'm so thin, or I'm gonna be so thin, or whatever. Like, that's not the case. There's a lot of people eating very high carb and very low fat, and they're continually gaining weight. If you are continually eating super high carb, and you're not eating any fats because you've been told that they're really bad for you and they're gonna make you fat and all that, but here you are like continuing to gain weight and you're not even eating any fat, I would seriously take a deep look and inventory of your life and ask yourself, like, what am I doing here? You know, like, why am I continually gaining weight? And the biggest thing about this that I see, fat and protein are very, very, very satiating foods, okay? Or macronutrients. The foods that you eat that have more fat and protein in them are going to keep you satisfied and satiated. So if you are one of these people who can never, ever, ever get full, and you just keep like pounding in the bananas, and you're sitting there eating 20 bananas, and you're like, oh my gosh, like my stomach is bloated, I'm so like physically looking full, but I'm not, like my hunger signal is not stopping. And I'm not talking about people with eating disorders here. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who literally are just like, I'm eating and I'm never getting full off of these high carb foods. I can promise you, the minute that you start eating more fat and protein, you're going to be so much more satisfied. Tons of different girls who've said, like, I can eat bananas all day long and never get full. But the minute they say, you know what, I can eat 1 or 2 bananas with like some peanut butter or some almond butter or some other nuts and seeds, I don't have to eat 50 bananas. I can eat that with almond butter and I feel so much better, like instantaneously, like I'm full, I'm satisfied. And this, by the way, is not a calorie restriction thing by any means. If anything, fat grams have more calories per gram than carbs or protein. So the whole thing of like, oh my God, it's about calorie restriction. No, it's not. You're eating more calories per gram when you eat fats than you are carbs. But at the end of the day, you need to be sure that you're eating a well-balanced diet. And so if you're feeling that way and you just keep pounding in this high carb thing and it's not working for you, and you're scared of fats and all this type of stuff, I really challenge you to make some changes, especially if you're having vitamin and mineral deficiencies and stuff like that. If you're having physical issues that are coming up that's just out of the blue and you're just like, why is this happening? I'm on the healthiest diet in the world. This is something that you need to really consider. I will say that I have worked with girls who have started to add fat into their diet after being on the super, super high carb thing for so long, and they've actually lost weight, okay? That's something to consider. I know this is a weight loss video or whatever, so if you are on a specific diet and you're on the extreme end where you're not eating any protein or any fat, and you just keep gaining weight or your weight loss has stalled or whatever, eat some fat. Like, I'm not saying you have to just pound it in. That is my opinion. That's what I will stick to. That's what I do. That's today's video. I really hope that that's helpful for you guys. You know, at the end of the day, I highly encourage you to face your fears if this is a big problem for you. You need the fats in your diet, regardless if you're scared of them or not, like for the whole vitamin deficiency thing. And, you know, it's probably going to make you feel a lot better and make you feel way more satisfied too. That's about it. So please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.